8:04 by my watch. Pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag,
The flag.
United States of America, and to the
To
republic
the republic
for which it
which
stands,
it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
justice for all.
Thanks. Okay, thanks everybody for showing up. And welcome to our, get into the minutes. Welcome to our new first select woman, Anne Marie.
Thank you.
Seating of alternates. Let's see, we're missing Rick. And I don't believe we have a Republican alternate to seat, so I'll close on that. Public comment, going once. Public comment going twice. Public comment going 3 times, and close public comment. Okay, next item is the approval of the minutes of the September 22nd regular meeting. Monica sent them all out. If you want to take a minute to kind of read through them again, that's fine. I have no problem with that. After that, I will take a motion and then a second to accept the minutes, and then we'll have a discussion. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Motion
Okay.
to accept the minutes, Betty Ann?
Betty Ann, second, please.
Second, Kwame.
I think
He beat you, Jim. Any discussion, any corrections, edits, omissions, anything at all?
no, I'm good.
Hearing none.
Kudos
Hearing none, I'll
to Monica for no typos.
I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of accepting, please give your name when you vote so Monica can write down who voted. So all those in favor?
John, yes.
Betty Ann, yes.
Beverly Kennedy, yes.
Jim, yes.
Okay, although, anyone voting no? Chair votes aye. Next item on the agenda. Report from the finance director. Okay, Doug, you're on.
Okay, we're working on the audit. We're in the middle of field work, and so far the audit's going relatively well. I talked with Milliman, who does our OPEB valuation, and they're running a little late. They hope to have the report done in the next couple of weeks. If they start being longer than that, that might hold up our final report. Other than that, the audit's gone well. We're looking at a loss last year of $242,000 approximately. That's an unedited loss, so I'm not sure what could happen from there, but things could happen.
Well, we only hope good stuff happens.
That's true. And then we're still using both softwares. We're still running parallel. Things are going well, the reconciliations, the cash balances. So that's working out also.
How is your tie-in with the Board of Ed numbers going?
I'll have to ask Lori. She usually ties in with Sherry.
Okay, because that's obviously important, and I would not even think of shutting down parallel systems until both of you, you and the board are in sync. Because
Yep.
it's if something goes awry, then you won't. Then it'll be a real tough time to try to find it, and it's better to run the systems that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think you're all aware. I did send an email to Doug. And in terms of, I'll let you let's go from the top to the bottom. Did you get any information from Nadia on the police private
yes.
duty as to what?
Yes, I did. We have, she sent me an updated report. We have 180, I'm rounding up, 180,000 in receivable. The October billings were 101,000.
Who are
And
the big, who are the big
September
customers?
billings were 64,000. So she's really not behind on collections. This was
So
all recent stuff.
So who owes us out of the 180? Who are the big players in it?
I would have, from looking at it, it's mainly the roads. They did all the roads up at Silver Mine. And so this is the work that they have to do to, monitor the roads. There's also some, Lewis Tree is another one, B&W Paving. Another Lewis Tree. Those
So
are the
these are-
big ones.
These are all current bills from, let's say, our last meeting till today?
For the most part, it's all October and September,
Okay,
except for about
Um,
15,000 of it.
all right, yeah, because that's a lot of money for a small town like us to operate as a bank for. So hopefully we'll get some, I would ask that you kind of monitor the collections along with Nadia at the end of, let's say, every Friday. Because I would expect that 180 should be dropping down, let's say a little bit this Friday, a little bit next Friday, to where it becomes let's call it a decent number.
Okay.
Because if we don't get anything, then, the town's not in a position to act as a bank for these companies. And I get it, we need the work done, but they need to pay us to do our part of the deal with the traffic and the safety. So if you can leave a note to yourself on your calendar that maybe every Friday around midday or so, check into the status of what's owed. And if there's any hiccups or any issues, give me a holler.
Okay.
The next question I posed was on the always popular and always just hanging out there $300,000 receivable that the town has coming to it. So they hired another firm to do the submission. So nothing is sitting at the state. Is that a fair conclusion?
Yeah, these are consultants or
I
independent
know.
contractors. And so the first guy, I guess, got sick over the summer and they had to hire somebody else, Banning Rawls. And that's somebody that was recommended by the state, that department that works with the grants. And so Sherry got him on. We sent him all the financial information, and he's putting together the final grant application.
Does he have, or did he give a time frame for when this thing is getting submitted? Because we're sitting in October. This thing has been kicked around for at least the last couple of years that I know of, and I think before that.
Mhm.
And maybe I'm incorrect, but my understanding was this thing was in progress pre-COVID virus. And if that's the case, that it's not, and I get it that the virus kind of stepped in, and we've all kind of gone head over heels because of it, and our lives have been a little bit upset. But what I would ask, Doug, is
Mhm.
that you get hold of this company and get from them some sort of time frame,
Okay.
because we've got budgets coming up in December, and that starts the process rolling. And it would be nice to know where this claim stands or doesn't stand, because I'm not, if we've got to carry this thing again, that's not good for anybody, least of all our town budget. Okay?
Okay.
And
Mhm.
maybe you can let us know what you find out, because, as opposed to, yeah, we'll get it done, we're working on it. That's kind of like almost saying like to somebody, yeah, we got to do lunch someday. And it usually doesn't often happen. So I would ask you to stay on that.
Okay.
Betty Ann? You got your hand up, I see you. Go ahead.
The email that was sent earlier stated 2 to 3 months for any kind of turnaround or comments. Is that a confirmed 2 or 3 months that we're going to hear from them on that? Or is that
Uh,
best practices? I mean, where is 2 to 3 months? I mean, that's going to put us way behind the 8 ball.
Well, no, it was 1 to 2 months, and Sherry said it would probably take about a month. But like Bill said, I'll contact this guy directly and get a timeline from him.
Okay.
Is this a firm or is this an individual consultant?
I believe it's an individual.
All right.
Okay, yeah, and if you can just find out where is he out of and all of that good stuff, and maybe look him up on the internet too. And I know, and I've had enough experiences with town reimbursements for construction grants. These things take a while because, yeah, we can do all we can to get the paperwork up there and the documents and all of that fun stuff. And then it sits at the state. That's why getting it up there, the faster we get it up there, hopefully the faster it gets finished. I
Yep.
hope.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Your email.
And again, regarding the COVID reimbursement, Doug, you want to fill
Yeah.
the whole board, and it was 1.4?
Yeah, for the Board of Ed, they gave them funds early. Actually, they gave them $300,000 for the previous year COVID expense and 1.3 million for the current year expense, and that includes projected COVID expense. As far as the town goes, we're inputting all our information onto the town, the OPM website, and we have all the invoices we're in today. Tomorrow we'll get in all the payroll information, and then we'll be finished with the town side. That's the expenses from March through June 30th.
What's your
We'll have
best
to do it
guess?
all again for the June through December.
What's your best guess as to the up to June 30 number?
Of how much we get back?
Yeah.
We put in an estimate of 47,000, and the state said that's approximately how much you'll end up getting back.
That's up through June, so we have another bucket of dollars from July to present to deal with too.
Right. Yep, exactly.
Now, how did this? I'm putting my auditor's hat on now. How did the 300 get recorded on the books when it came in?
I'd have to talk to Sherry and Madison and find out exactly how they booked that.
Yeah, I think
Quite honestly,
as finance director, you need to know that because we're in the middle of an audit,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got to know cold how, what's the debit and the credit. Because the other question is, you had said they got $1.3 million for the new year we're sitting in now.
Yeah.
How did that get recorded? Did you see the check, or where, what bank account did it hit, and whatever, all the boring accounting debits and credits?
Right. I haven't seen, no, we have not seen a check. I'll have to talk a little more with Sherry. It almost sounded like it was a reimbursement sort of grant. So they have to do the spending, send it back up to the state, and then the state reimburses them.
So they got advance funding of over $1 million?
No, I don't believe they got advance funding, no.
Then if they didn't,
I think they've got an award letter that says that they'll get 1.3 million, and then they have to spend it. I've got to talk to Sherry more to find out exactly a specific.
Yeah, because that's if you get the cash before you spend the money or send the reimbursements in, you got an advance on your hands, because the state can turn around and say, if you didn't spend it, oh, by the way, we'd like X dollars back. Yeah, you
Right.
got, Doug, you're the finance director. You got to get your arms around this.
Yeah, I
Because
got to talk to her.
those are big numbers in terms of the general fund and appropriations and everything else. And, we've got to know. And if it's that, money was wire transfer, you need a copy of whatever they have, the award letter, a copy of a wire transfer if they got cash for this year and next. Anything Sherry has, you need. But,
Okay.
just to keep it simple, because that's the only way we're going to get our arms around this thing. Any other questions for our finance director?
Was all the paperwork for that reimbursement sent in? Because it wasn't the deadline at the end of the month?
On the town side, we're still inputting. I'll have to talk to Sherry. I think she already put her, as I said, I really don't have the specifics on what Sherry has done, so I'll have to talk to her.
Betty Ann?
Is it
Go ahead.
possible then, since we don't have the answers, that we could have Sherry on this call? Just saying.
I have no problem with it if we can get information one way or the other, but I'd want some answers, because it's a
Yeah.
lot of money,
Because this is
in
dragging
terms
on.
of the general fund and everything else.
Yeah, and this is
and,
going on for the last 2 months, according to my minutes.
We gotta know debits and credits, how it hit the books.
Yep.
Okay.
2 months later. we
Any,
know
oth- any other questions for Doug? Okay, thank you, Doug. I'll turn it over to our new First Selectman. Anne Marie, you're on.
So this is my first Board of Finance meeting ever. And I have to say, wow, you guys move it right along. I look forward to working with all of you. I look forward to budget season. Look forward to seeing what everybody does and coming together as a team and continuing with the great work everybody's doing together, especially this board.
Thank you. Welcome aboard, and we'll look forward to working for you and with you and
No, wait,
all of that.
We all work together. No one
One-
works for somebody. We all
Yeah.
work together.
Yeah, the word "for" was a slip. I apologize. One question, Anne Marie. I'm sure you were aware that every December for a couple of days we had, Kurt used to call it a budget summit,
Okay.
where the department heads, police, fire, public works, education, and I'm trying to think of who else, but we all ended up meeting at Basement Systems. They usually gave us one floor of one of their buildings on Progress Drive. And essentially we sat there, Rory was there too. And, we kind of went through the budget preliminary wise, which made the budget process, when we actually sit down and talk to departments and get the projections and stuff, a little bit easier to go through. So whatever plans you may have for that, please let me know. I'd be happy to help coordinate it with you and get together with you, and the town buys sandwiches and soda for lunch. So it's a win-win.
Well, that's great. And with the whole, COVID and being 6 feet apart from each other, if Basement System can work with us on that to make sure we're all doing this together safely, then I'm all for it. I'm a big cheerleader of not rocking the boat. And if it's not broken, then leave it. And the Board of Finance seems, especially underneath your leadership, Bill, that it's doing its job. So I will gladly work with you on that, and let's get that going so we can get the dates put up so everybody can get there.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, and thank you for the flattery, but it's not just me, it's the other people that are on this board, because we're all
The
in this
whole board,
together,
you're right, 'cause it's a
obviously.
team. Right.
Yeah, as I said, I don't know with the COVID either, Anne Marie, if, it's feasible that we can sit in a room. It was a big room, but I don't know how, given how many people were there last year, if we could do it. But even if we schedule something with Rob Dyer's help, Zoom wise or whatever, just to get something together in December. I'll hook up with you and we can chat about dates and times and stuff like that. But hey, Doug, as a matter of practice, I would guess that around probably the 1st to mid-November, you're going to be sending out the sheets to the departments to start projecting the numbers.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because that's obviously you can't meet without numbers, obviously, even though the lunch is good and occasionally even Dunkin' Donuts that are brought up are okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the first step. Circulate it out. When you circulate the forms to the departments, Doug, I would suggest you put in a blurb, something on the effect of, we're looking at the feasibility of having a similar, call it a budget summit or whatever phrase you want, like we did a year ago. But obviously how we handle it would be dependent upon the virus and technology. So may not be an in-person, it may be a Zoom, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Correct, because right now the state of Connecticut is at 4.1, so we're at orange and they're expecting us to go into red probably by the end of the week,
Doesn't
So-
surprise me.
right? So
Yeah.
I want to make sure we're all safe because we do have the holidays coming up and I want to make sure that everybody is able to enjoy their time with their families.
Yeah, it's no fun being sick. You're absolutely right.
Right.
Okay, are you all set, Anne Marie?
I am. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Transfer requests, I didn't see any in our packets. New business, we've kind of gone through the points off the email with Doug that, we're going to require follow-up, and I can't stress enough the accounting for that COVID money. I mean, that's a big deal to me. Again, with my auditor hat on, that we've got to get and make sure that's right. And I think, Doug, you and Sherry got to, open maybe a more frequent, or however you want to call it, line of communication so things don't get lost in translation. Correspondence wise, no one ever sends anything to me, which is good because I don't, I get enough mail at home. Does anyone else have anything to bring up under the, good of the order, as it were?
No.
Rich, were you raising your hand? It looked like you almost did, or were you just flinching?
No, I'm just tweaking out.
Oh,
tech-
okay. No, I just wanted to make sure.
Had problems logging on.
Okay. Well, we don't need an explanation. The important thing is you're here.
Yeah,
Anyway,
all of you are.
okay.
I've got something, Bill.
Oh, go ahead, Doug, please.
We're getting a number of requests for all that money that we took out of contributions and we dumped it into the contingency. So I did a couple of transfers for the Christmas fireworks and the Christmas parade. How do you want to handle the other requests?
I see no real reason why they shouldn't go through. I mean, I know why we did what we did, but now we're kind of all adjusted to it. We've got a handle on what's going on. Well, how much are we talking about in total dollars? Rough seat of the pants.
The total contingency was $374,000, but I mean, as far as contributions go, we're only talking about maybe $15,000 at the most.
Yeah, I have no objection to, going through with those. I mean, the big stuff in contingency, obviously, that's a separate matter. But for the different associations and leagues and things that we all got our fingers crossed, and we're hoping the spring can be better than what it was in the fall. But I don't have a problem. I think the contingency for the budget purposes and the rating agencies served its purpose. And if nothing else, we are let's call it a watchful town in terms of our money. And I see no reason why that won't keep up. Anything else from anybody? If not, we'll go to Rich's favorite time of the meeting. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
How did I know? Second, please. Betty Ann, second. Discussion? I didn't think so. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
John?
Opposed? Opposed? Chair votes aye. Thanks, everybody, for your help. And we'll see you November. Thanks.
Love you guys. Stay safe.
Here.
Stay,
Bye.
stay safe.